Alright, I'm going to show you today how to do this really fun project where you get to work with line repetition and coloring. It's just a good way to practice adding line and color to your work. They kind of look like wormholes, some people say, but it's really fun to work with and get that kind of like an optical illusion effect in your work. So first thing we're going to do, and I really like to do this part, kind of makes your artwork stand out. And I like to do it first just because a lot of times we forget to do this later on, is we're going to give it a little frame. So we're going to glue it down to a piece of paper with a glue stick. So you're just going to come on and do like an X and just kind of fill it in. Get those edges though really good because that's where it comes up first. And then this paper's a little bit bigger, the black one is. So we're going to go like this, line it up so all the edges are even. And then you go ahead and smooth it out the best you can. And try to get that nice and even if you can. And then I would just kind of sit there and hold it and kind of massage the edges there until it stays, because you don't want that to come up a little bit later on. Okay? So you're going to hold that for a while. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to work just with a Sharpie marker. So we're going to get right in with that black marker, and we're going to start off with a line that's going to go from one side to the next. So it's always good to practice since we're using a Sharpie. No big deal if it gets a little off. And you're just going to go with it then. So I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to do just kind of a line that comes from one side to the next. After that, we're going to put some dots in there. So I'm going to start off by spacing them. And they don't need to be too big. But you're just going to space them like this. Some maybe a little bit closer, some a little wider, so you get to the other end. Okay? And from now, we're gonna do a lot of kind of like a leapfrog. So you're gonna jump from one dot to the next. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this here to get started, and then I'm gonna show you kind of a couple different ways that you can do this. So you could go up on the top here, or you could go on the bottom like this. You're going to curve it down on the bottom. Okay. And this is where it can kind of change though. So some people like to do this where they'll just find one of these and they'll just work on one area here where they'll just go back and forth and they'll get it to kind of move in different directions. So this one's getting bigger. If I wanted to get smaller and kind of turn, I can go like this now. I can have it kind of run off the paper like this. But I'm always kind of coming back here. Now once you get further out here, you don't always have to come all the way back to the dots. You could just go ahead and kind of come on the edge here. I could turn it now like this until it runs off the paper. Okay, so that's one way you could do it, or you could work on all of them at once. Okay, it's kind of up to you and how you do it, or you could do two of them out at one time. It's kind of fun to just see them grow and see what you can do with these lines and repetitions. It's definitely a nice warm-up if you're going to be doing some drawings for the day. Okay, so you go ahead and fill it up. Here's another one I was working on, and I really kind of worked on getting the black area in the middle here that kind of shows that depth off into the distance. Once you get it all filled in, then you're going to start thinking about color options. So I'm going to do just some warm colors here, and I'm going to practice showing you kind of how to do the different areas. So some people do all of them at one time. If you're going to do that, that's fine. Just slow down when you do it. Do quality work. But I'm coloring with red here on the edges. Okay. I'm just going to go with the red here, and then I'm also going to go on this other side here, like so. The middle part here is where you're going to kind of leave it alone. So I can go a little bit into orange now. I'm going to overlap it. And not a whole lot here. It's going to get a nice blend going on. Okay, not much room down here, so I'm going to kind of just go a little bit like this. And then finally, I'm going to go into yellow. So 2 to 3 colors works good for these blends. But I like to leave a little bit white here, so I'm going to turn it a little bit. So I'm going to go like this, let it go overlapping on top, and just right in the middle here is where I'm going to leave it alone. When you leave it white, it looks like a highlight, so it's shiny, like the light is hitting off the surface there. And that'll give it even more of a 3D look or an optical illusion type of look. So I can kind of practice doing nice blends with this project. And I just really like the look of that. I think it looks really cool and it's really fun to work with. All right, guys, can't wait to see what you come up with today.